Hello students, this is Poonima Jayashegaran, Assistant Professor, Department of Food Science and Nutrition, The American College, Madurai. Health is our greatest wealth. We all know that, isn't it? Yes. In this module, we are going to see an amazing topic on functional foods of plant origin.
Functional foods of plant origin. First, we will see about the known facts. We already know two terms, food and balanced diet. Food is a basic necessity of man, and we know food is a mixture of different nutrients such as carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamins and minerals. And balanced diet is a diet which has all the nutrients in sufficient quantities and proportions, and also little extra to meet the short duration of leanness. And next we will move on to the new terms, phytochemicals. Phytochemicals are non-nutritive plant chemicals. So as we have already seen, food is a mixture of basic 5 nutrients. Besides the nutrients, the food also has some phytochemicals or plant chemicals, or otherwise called as bioactive compounds, which has a protective or disease preventive properties. First, they thought this property is present in plants to protect the plants from their invaders like pest, worm, animals, etc. But nowadays, studies have proved that these substances also protect humans against diseases. The health benefits of phytochemicals. So, these phytochemicals have different actions depending on the composition. The possible actions are they have antioxidant property, hormonal action is also possible. Stimulation of certain enzymes happen with this help of phytochemicals. Interference with DNA replication also happens, and which leads to apoptosis, antibacterial effect, antimicrobial effect, and also has lot of physical action. Now we will see about the history of functional foods. The concept of functional foods originated in Japan during the year 1980, and we all know the terms Ayurveda, Siddha, where we use herbs and spices as medicines. So from that, all this Japan gave a name called functional food, and the father of this concept is considered to be Hippocrates, who says, "Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food." We have to definitely know the difference between functional food and nutraceutical. These two terminologies is often interrelated in literatures and even while giving lecture, but there is a major difference between the two. Functional food, as the word says, it is a food which contains a significant level of naturally occurring biologically active components which impart health benefits besides providing the basic essential nutrients. So they gave an additional role of disease prevention and health promotion. So it is a whole food, and it can be taken as a part of our daily diet. But whereas nutraceutical is a product isolated or purified from foods that is generally sold in medicinal forms, so not associated with food, it is taken as medicine. So the form in which nutraceutical products are available are concentrates, extracts, tablets, capsules, soft gels, caps, liquids or powders. Next, citrus peel. So we are going to see about a first functional plant source is citrus peel. So it has a bioactive compound named limonene. This limonene helps in gastroesophageal reflux diseases. So this limonene, especially D-limonene, is helpful to dissolve cholesterol containing gallstones. It is used clinically in such treatment and also supports normal peristalsis and relieves persons suffering from heartburn. The next compound is turmeric. So it is a spice which is used in our Indian cuisine very often, and it has a bioactive compound called curcumin. So this curcumin possesses anti-inflammatory, antiseptic and also anti-cancerous properties. We usually have a habit of having turmeric milk or yellow milk or Haldi doodh or golden lead. Everything means the same. So turmeric milk when you have a common cold. So this turmeric milk is prepared with cow's milk, turmeric powder, crushed pepper and jaggery with it. Sometimes certain people prepare it replacing cow's milk with coconut milk also. So this is the best combination to get all the curcumins available into the body, because the pepper contains piperine, which enhances the bioavailability of curcumin which is present in your turmeric. Next plant origin is soybean. Soybean has a compound called isoflavones. So they are called as phytoestrogens. These isoflavones have hormone-like substances called phytoestrogens. So they can be used in hormone therapies. So it is very much beneficial for menopausal women, mainly in the post-menopausal symptoms. So it also has a protective against cancer and osteoporosis. While purchasing soybean, you should not confuse with the soybean which is available in the local market, because the red beans or the pink beans available in the market is not soybeans, and the real soybean is pale yellow in color and very small in size. You can have a look at the soybean, and these are all soy milk, soy flavored milk, soy chunks, tofu, otherwise called as soy paneer. Next functional compound is resveratrol. So the plant source is grapes, where this resveratrol is very high in content. Next to grapes, even berries, cocoa, dark chocolates and peanuts also have some quantities of this resveratrol. So this bioactive compound resveratrol helps in two things. Mainly it has an anti-aging property and it helps to prevent urinary tract infection. Red grapes especially has resveratrol in higher content compared to the green one. Skin of grapes has this resveratrol content. So while eating grapes with the skin gives you this resveratrol, and also in red wine this resveratrol content is higher. Green tea, it has a bioactive compound called catechins. So this catechin has antioxidant property. Catechins are natural antioxidants and it helps to prevent cell damage, reduce free radicals and fight against cancer. It also helps to lower cholesterol and blood pressure and thereby protect your heart. Epigallocatechin 3 gallate, which is a type of catechin, helps to reduce your weight. So it is used in the treatment of weight loss. Next plant source is tomato. Tomato has lycopene, which is a bioactive compound or a phytochemical present in tomatoes, and this lycopene has a major role in preventing prostate cancer. Lycopene is a powerful antioxidant and it has some more health benefits like sun protection, and it improves your heart health and also has lower risk for certain types of cancer too. Next is garlic. So garlic has a bioactive compound called allicin, and it helps to lower your lipid levels. Garlic, fresh garlic has an amino acid called allin. So this allin, when crushed, when the garlic is crushed or chopped, this allin comes to interact with the oxygen in the atmosphere, and with the help of one more enzyme present in your garlic called allinase, this converts into a compound called allicin. So allin and allinase interact to form allicin, and this allicin is biologically active compound of garlic. So this component has anti-tumor property and also antimicrobial property. So it is also, this allicin enhances the detoxification mechanism in your body, thereby protects your liver. The last and final functional food is birchwood. So birchwood is a major source for the extraction of a bioactive compound called xylitol, and this xylitol has an anti-cariogenic effect. Xylitol is nothing but a natural sweetener. It can be found also in berries, fruits, vegetables, and especially mushrooms. Anti-cariogenic, the word denotes it helps to reduce the bacteria population in the mouth by maintaining your salivary pH. When the pH becomes more acidic, it invades all the microorganisms to proliferate inside your mouth. So when the pH is maintained, then there is no chance for the microbes to get into your mouth and decay or damage your teeth. Okay, so these microorganisms, when you have some meal or snack which is rich in sugar or starch, they have a tendency to stick on to your teeth. So these microbes easily feed on to those substances and creates the environment very acidic, which increases the colonization of bacteria inside your mouth. So this is the major reason for tooth decay or dental caries. How can you get rid of it? You can have 3 to 8 pieces of chewing gums per day, but be very careful, read your labels. The chewing gum should have xylitol, sorbitol or mannitol as a sweetening agent. So when you chew it, it will definitely maintain your salivary pH. If you eat more snacks, then of course you need more xylitol.
We will conclude this module with some take-home messages. Health is very important, so everyone must take a balanced diet recommended by ICMR. Include 5 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables daily. Exclude or completely avoid processed foods and refined foods. Include nuts and seeds regularly. Both diet and exercise go hand in hand, so exercise daily. We all have learned during this pandemic that prevention is better than cure. So my dear students, include lot of functional foods in your daily diet and bring a beautiful change in your family's dietary pattern. Thank you.